and welcome to Super Over Decoded, powered by IDFC FIRST Bank. Today, we're looking at the jewel in the crown of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. India versus Pakistan. Match 6, Group 1 in Birmingham. Hybrid pitch, which has 5% of synthetic fibres. Naturally, that'd lend itself to pace bowlers and seamers, but we'll get onto that detail through this episode. It looks as if India walked away with a simple win and had the bragging rights on the scoreboard, 170 run total and a comfortable victory. Might suggest India controlled this day from the get-go. However, in reality, that was very different. Pakistan had a bit to say and had India under pressure. Pakistan produced their best ever World Cup power play. Pakistan created chances in the field, but World Cups, my friends, they aren't won through moments. They're won through mastery of those moments. Tonight, India demonstrated exactly why they're one of the favourites this edition of the World Cup. Coming into Birmingham, there was no shortage of storylines. India had won 13 of the previous 16 T20 internationals against Pakistan, and in World Cups, the advantage was almost as dominant. 6 victories from 8 meetings. India also won the previous 3 World Cup clashes between these two really great nations. History wasn't exactly on Pakistan's side now, was it? But there were reasons to believe this could be different. India arrived with mixed form, losing 2 consecutive overseas T20 series against South Africa and, of course, England. And Pakistan arrived under pressure as well, having won just 1 of their previous 9 T20 international series or tournaments. So both sides entered this World Cup searching for momentum. Tricky in a World Cup. And there was Harmanpreet Kaur's story as well. 1 run away from becoming India's leading run scorer in women's T20 World Cups. What a history that is. Playing in her 10th T20 World Cup and at 37 years of young, becoming India's oldest ever women's T20 World Cup player. There was legacy on the line, as always with these two nations. And the rivalry, of course, in the lineup, and there were 2 competition points that both teams desperately needed to grab in the early part of this tournament. So what unfolded was fascinating because Pakistan actually competed exceptionally well for large periods. So let's start with India's innings, and we have to begin with Smriti Mandhana. Big players have a remarkable ability to identify big moments. This wasn't a reckless T20 innings, not at all. Wickets falling around her. This was an innings of maturity. Her 68 from 44 balls gave India exactly what they needed. She assessed the conditions, she managed the risk, she built partners and partnerships, and importantly, she remained there long enough to launch late. At one stage, India looked in trouble. Pakistan's bowlers had done a terrific job. The pace bowlers found good lengths. The spinners slowed the scoring rate down, which we often find in T20, and India appeared headed for something around about that 145, maybe 150 if they finished strongly. And that's where the game changed. Pakistan fell behind the required over rate. That's a big no-no. It sounds like a small issue, but it wasn't because of the penalty that were forced to bowl the final 2 overs with that additional resource and fielder inside the circle. At international level, you often hear about athletes saying this, they control the controllables, but it's a huge disadvantage, and India immediately recognised the opportunity, and those final 2 overs disappear for 38 runs. Let's read that again. 38 runs from the final 2 overs, and suddenly 145 became 170, and suddenly a manageable chase became a difficult chase. And this wasn't the only area where Pakistan let India escape. They dropped 2 catches against a batter of Mandana's class. That's costly. They conceded 11 runs in wides, not 11 wides, 11 runs through wides. Those are completely avoidable runs. So let's do the maths here quickly. 38 runs from final 2 overs, 11 runs from wides, drop chances. The margins start to become enormous. India deserve enormous credit for capitalising, but Pakistan will know that they allowed India off the canvas, and in tournaments like the World Cup, winning sides, they just don't do that. And in India's case, they don't do that very often. Pakistan did tonight, and it cost them. If Pakistan bowling innings was a story of opportunities missed, India's bowling innings was a lesson in control. Ironically, Pakistan began the game beautifully, and their 52 for 1 power play was the best power play score Pakistan have ever recorded in a women's T20 World Cup. That's history in the making. Really significant stuff. And against one of the strongest bowling attacks in the competition, they were exactly where they needed to be and wanted to be. The chase was definitely alive, and the dressing room would have started to believe. Then India turned to spin, and the match changed completely. Before the game, India made a very interesting selection call. They chose not to play a third seamer. They backed their spin resources, and that decision now looks like a really inspired decision. India's seamers finished the night without taking a single wicket, not one. Normally that sounds alarming, but tonight it didn't matter because the spinners completely dominated. 9 wickets fell to spin. The 10th dismissal came through a run out, and that's extraordinary. Dipti Sharma was simply magnificent. And what makes her performance even more remarkable is the context. Last year in the 50 over World Cup final, she produced a 5-wicket haul, and today she begins another World Cup campaign with another 5 wickets. The great players don't wait for the tournaments to happen. They announce themselves, and they do so immediately. Pakistan's challenge, it wasn't their start. Their challenge was sustaining pressure. Once India squeezed through that middle overs, dot balls accumulated, scoring options vanished, and panic began to creep in, and of course, wickets followed. For me, there's absolutely no doubt about the turning point. It wasn't a wicket, it wasn't a catch, it wasn't even a partnership. It was the over rate penalty. And at the time, it may have felt relatively insignificant, but cricket is a game of consequences. And Pakistan had controlled large parts of India's innings. Then came the penalty, 1 extra fielder inside the circle. 2 overs remaining, 38 runs conceded. Game changed. The moment India reached 170, the chase required Pakistan to continue taking risks. It had to be a perfect run chase, and that meant India's spinners could attack. That meant fielders could stay in catching positions, and that meant pressure never truly left Pakistan. And had India finished with 145 or even 150, we might be discussing a very different result tonight. That's why elite teams obsess over details, over rates, fielding standards, discipline, because eventually all of those details become a scoreboard. My final verdict is pretty simple. India were the smarter cricket team tonight. Not necessarily the more talented team, not even necessarily the team that won every phase, but certainly the team that understood pressure better. Pakistan had the better power play with the bat. Pakistan had India under pressure with the ball. Pakistan even created a lot of opportunities, but they couldn't sustain the pressure. India could. Srini Bandana delivered the knockout blow in an innings her team required. Dipti Sharma reminded the cricket world why she is one of the premier spin bowlers in the game, and India's decision to trust spin over seam proved decisive. The statistics tell a compelling story. Pakistan's best ever World Cup power play, 9 wickets to India's spin, 5 wickets to Dipti Sharma, 38 runs from the final 2 overs, 2 drop catches, 11 runs conceded through wides, and every one of those numbers helped shape the result. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson from tonight. At World Cups, there are moments when games are won, but there are also moments when games are lost. India recognised those moments. Pakistan missed a trick. That's why India begin their Women's T20 World Cup with 2 competition points in Group 1. They've got now significant momentum, and if they continue to combine tactical clarity with execution like this, they will become a very difficult side to stop. I'm Matthew Hayden. Thanks for joining us on Super Over Decoded, powered by IDFC FIRST Bank.